Hey everybody, Gnome here. Server X160, the best in the West, part of Blackgate Asylum. Yes. Um, Follow me, hit me up on YouTube. It's probably where you're watching me. If you got money to donate, I really appreciate it through Patreon. I'll be adding some new strategy videos on Patreon that aren't available to anybody except members of my Patreon. So that'll be pretty cool. But today I wanted to do a quick little video before the release of. Sorry, been a little sick. You can tell I don't have my voice. The new Guardian. So you come into your ancestral temple here. Go to Guardians, the blue crystal, and Ignarath. So he's our new guy. He looks really awesome. Kind of looks like a combination between a few champions in the game, but he's got this little dragon flying around him too. That's really cool. One thing I just noticed the other day, PvP damage reduction. I think Guardians have basically a built-in honorable almost. I didn't know about that. So here's the full screen of him. Looks really cool. He's kind of got the no eyes. I guess his eye is up between his horns, maybe. His wings probably are the coolest looking thing about him. But his armor is very detailed. You got sharp points everywhere. The two claws, like dragon claws on the shoulder points. I like that he combines his swords and they kind of come together as what was that? Kylo Ren or Darth Maul, one of those characters. Sorry, didn't really get into Star Wars too much. But let's go ahead and start with the traits that he comes with. So his combination is the Asgavard trait, the Searing Armor. Fortitude increased by 23% per 4 seconds when taking active skill or ultimate attack damage, which is pretty much most of the fight. It stacks up to 3 layers, so it can be an extra 70% fortitude. So the potential of putting maybe loyal on him might be beneficial because then he'd just stack it up even more. I'm guessing if you have a lot of vigor and then you throw a loyal on him, combined with his 20% damage reduction from up here, he could be really nice. So he's kind of looking like the combination. I would call him a warrior, but he also looks pretty tanky with that armor. Granted, he doesn't have a shield. He doesn't have a buckler. He might just be like a pure warrior here. So his other one is the, what is it, Scorch Flame or something like that. It's when he dies, but you don't want him to die, then he restores 200 energy to all the teammates. You want something like that on a male Esterier or a male Choir, but not somebody that you want to stay up the whole game. His district is the production district, so he's naturally going to have a higher than all the other champions for his leadership. So let's dig in. We'll start with the passive, Flame Armor, when shielded. So looks like you're going to be wanting to shield this guy a lot. When shielded, the champion is immune to 35% of the damage taken. Now that is really nice. What is that the equivalent to? Like having a female panda soaking up his damage, or isn't that that's of all damage, not just skill damage. So that's really powerful right there. So you want to keep a shield on him. Without a shield, he gains 60 energy per second at level 20. And I don't know if anybody's got their Guardian skills up to 20 yet. Maybe. In battle, each time the champion gains a shield, their strength increases by 3.5% for 10 seconds. That's a long time. Stacking up to 20 times. So that's 70% possible extra strength if this champion is getting a lot of shields. I'm guessing when he gets a shield, it refreshes the duration. So that stack just keeps adding up. So, in battle, all skills ignore immune selection. Hmm. Does that mean his skill would kill Unmeyong's falcon, the bird that flies around and helps him? Does it mean that he'll be able to hit female Nereid with all of his skills, even when she's using her trance? So those are some interesting concepts. Uh-oh, my game might have frozen up. That's a bummer. Okay, I'm probably going to have to restart that. And while I'm doing it, let's keep talking about this. So, potential of 70% extra strength if he's getting a whole bunch of shields. So, that means you're going to want to shield him up. Shield him up a whole lot. And so, what are some good champions that get shields? Well, of course, the first one we're thinking of is Farouk. The last release, Bloodcraft, since we're waiting on the new one. Farouk does shields when Farouk casts is active. If Farouk gets a shield at any point, say through the trait Steadfast, then that will transfer onto the person he's linked to. So that would also boost up this fella and give him another charge. So let's think of some more of the charges here. So say you put energy harness on him to start, and he has a steadfast on as well. And someone on your team has a brave. So that's 3 starting shields right there. And so that should be, what is that, 7? That's 10.5 extra strength right at the beginning of battle. Like, oh, that's nice. And remember, his scale, oh, might have lost my internet. If that's the case, gonna have to pause this video. Oh boy, that's never good. Nope, guessing the internet got reset in some way, hopefully. Uh, Alright, let's come back to this. Well, I'll still keep recording a little bit because we can talk about it. Actually, yeah, we need more than that. So I'll be right back. Alright, we're back in action. This is what I like to see. The only issue is I'm not going through my headphones right now. I'm just going through the laptop speaker, so, or mic. So let's get back to where we were. We were discussing this new Guardian's abilities. We kind of went through his passive a little. He can get up to 70% strength based on shields that he's getting. If he doesn't have a shield, he gets 60 energy per second. And while he has a shield, he's immune to 35% of the damage he takes, so his shields last longer. Which, if you think about it, you could also put either Honorable on him or the little Fox clan, Hyrule, something like that. It reduces skill damage taken. So that could be an option as well to throw on him and make him even tankier if you want. Alright, so now let's go to his active here. Flame Strike. When the casters... Okay, yeah, this is the active, sorry. I get a little confused with how they have the Guardian set up. When the caster's shield is completely broken or disappears, they recover Constitution equal to 400% of their strength. So even if something does so much damage to him that it gets through his shield, he's going to have this backup heal ready to go. So that's really nice. Not to mention, if you have a Devout on your team, say you're running Malazon, that's going to help his heal as well. I think it adds like 30% or something. which would be significant. That would be significant. Um, the actual active is the caster flaps their wings to deal damage equal to 500% of their strength twice to enemies in a cone in front. Excuse me. So he flaps his wings, kind of knocking them back, short distance, does a lot of damage, and it does 500% of strength twice. So that's 1,000% to enemies. That's a lot. And then it casts Fear Hunter for 3 seconds. That's a lot of crowd control. Oh, and this ability looks really cool too. Each time his skill hits an enemy, the caster gains a permanent shield equal to 220% of their strength. So actually, I think that that might be the ultimate, and then this might be the active, or I don't know. Let's look at the Guardian real quick because okay, so this is his active, this is his passive, and this is his ultimate. So maybe if they have it set up the same way, which I'm not sure, then that would have been his ultimate that we just read, which makes sense because you get, look at this, each time his skill hits an enemy, and there, how many chances are for it to hit an enemy? 2, 3 times? Then he gains another shield that's 220% of his strength, which is nuts. So, I think that this must be his active then, maybe. Even though the other ability says active, so I'm confused. Combines the dual swords into a double-headed sword and throws it at the densest area of enemies. The double-headed sword deals 200% strength damage to enemies along its path, then hovers and spins rapidly at the target location for 2 seconds. So everybody in the way takes 200% strength, which is 2 times strength. During the spin, it deals 180% strength damage to enemies within range every 0.5 seconds. It's a pretty big area too, so that's going to be 360 plus 360 is going to be 720% strength damage if they get for the second part plus the 200. So that's 920% strength damage if they get hit with everything. Each time it hits an enemy, it, meaning he, gains a permanent shield equal to the damage dealt. Wow. That's insane. Because that's a lot of damage, too. Um, After throwing, the caster flies into the air and then dives to the target area, knocking up enemies within range and dealing another 350% strength damage. So add that on to the 920%. That's 1,270% strength damage overall to each person that takes the full combination. The caster is immune to control during this skill release, which makes sense because they didn't want you to be able to interrupt them. And remember, all these are level 20. So you need to have your champion ascended to level 20 for that, your guardian. Here's the big one, the guardian ability. This one's so cool. So it enhances the dual swords and performs 2 side sweeps towards the densest enemy area, meaning you're going to want to group up the enemy, especially if you have somebody that gives shields and can group up the enemy. That's pretty strong. The cast, I don't know if there's anything that does that. Each attack interrupts enemies within range and deals true damage equal to 400% of the caster's strength. So that's 800% strength of true damage that each of the attacks can interrupt your opponent. So if it's a male water and sun, boom, no more ultimate for you. The caster then briefly charges to enhance the dual sword, so he like pauses and he charges up into a flaming greatsword and strikes the target area, dealing more true damage equal to 600%. So if you take the 800 from the 2 slashes and then 600, that's 1,400% of the caster's strength to all the enemies within range. And I think this has got a huge range. And stunning them for 1 second. So there's a stun on top of that. You could potentially even maybe pair him up with the Void, and that might allow you to proc the resolve of the Guardian, the Voidborn. So, Resolve collection, gain 140 resolve each time you receive a shield. So if you boost this guy's shields really quick, if you just get him shielded like constantly, all your champions are adding shields, you could potentially have this guy's Guardian ability, I think, go off as soon as all the actives do. Because if you think about, he's going to get a shield from Farouk's active. He's going to get a shield from possibly Steadfast proccing on him and on Farouk. Energy Harness, Brave. This guy is going to be getting so much resolve so quickly that you could potentially have him use his Guardian ability like ultra quick. So, with that, during the release of the Guardian skill, he's immune to control, which makes sense because you can't have anyone interrupt it. And then after you finish it, you can't gain resolve for 6 seconds, so you can't be chaining this Guardian ability. But that is a relatively fast refresh. You could potentially have another one ready to go in like 10 seconds. So this guy is also good for longevity. I might even, I know it sounds weird, but put him in a female Nereid group with Farouk so that female Nereid goes untargetable. So she's defensed up. Maybe give her some defensive traits. And then tank this guy up so he could just last and last and last. And then them combined with Farouk and combined with my male Esterir and my male Choir, that could be a long life living group, like go into the end game kind of thing each match. But this guy is completely bonkers. So let's stay here real quick. Excuse me. See, I think that's his ult with the fear. But this one is his active is so good. So let's put that down. I get the whole screen. What's up? What's up? And then let's unlock, or let's view this media source. Oop, I thought I had this. There we go. Alright, let's see what I can do here. First, let's get the first replay, see what this is like. Alright, here we go. So, he's going to do his active first. He throws the sword, it's spinning, he jumps up. So that was like 1200 and something damage, a ton. Oh, wow. Look at that Guardian ability. Man. So you see the swipe, and then the huge hit. And, like, look how much shield he has. He probably has a lot of life. Now, imagine him having all that shield. Wow. All that shield inside them jeans. I'm just kidding. So, here's another fight. This is compliments of Rivers from Asylum. And so he did his active, stunning people, smashing down. He did his Guardian ability. I don't think we've really had a chance to see his ultimate, have we? Let's see again. So, okay, he put his, no, that's his active that he just did there. And then he goes straight into, that's what I'm telling you. This guy might never get his ult off because you can make his Guardian ability go off so quickly. It's really cool. Alright, and then let's see that second one more time. Oh, not the second one. I want to see. So, I'm sorry, I'll do another video once I actually have the champion, but I don't have him yet, so I can't really. So, did you see the point when he kind of did that fan knockback? I think that's his ult, so watch right here. He does that like knockback there, and then, but I didn't see a fear happen. The guy's supposed to be feared for 3 seconds afterwards, so I don't really know what's going on with that. Probably will be issues with the champion like there are with every one of them, sadly. So some possible, kind of depending what your team needs. If you need a tank, um, oh, all right then. Oh, there it goes. Never mind. That might be a good end to the video. We'll make it a quick one. So we kind of went over the abilities. If you want to put tanky stuff on them, honorable, energy harness, steadfast. You're going to want a brutal because like every one of his abilities are based off of his strength. If you want, you could go more of the bruiser build with aggressive and brutal, steadfast and honorable. Honorable would go really well with him, just how he's set up. Again, the Hyrule or Hyrule trait would work too. Anything really that can decrease damage will allow him to just live longer because his shields are insane. Some champions that you could potentially pair him up with. We got Male Lionstone. He's got his ultimate that adds a ton of shield to everybody. So not only would it add it to Farouk, but it will add it to the Guardian. And then because Farouk gets a shield, it gives the Guardian a second shield. So the Guardian would get 2 stacks of his strength, adding 7% strength. He would also he would get closer to using his resolve, his Guardian ability. So who else? Female Akuna, she's been in storage for a long time. She has the potential to use her ult on 2 people that puts a huge shield. That could work because if you hit Farouk or this guy with the shield, he's going to benefit. So there's an even higher chance for him to be able to get shielded and to get bonuses. Another one we have Male Azon. Granted, he only shields 1 target, and that target has to have the lowest health, I believe. So if you make sure that you don't put any constitution on this guy or anything, maybe not maximize your guardian stones for con for him, then you might get a better result out of that. What are some other ones? You could always go Impair. He just does damage to everybody all the time. He's such a fast attacker, so you're going to want a rapid shot on your team, but an agile wouldn't hurt so he can get his active off really quickly. Under the weather, sorry. And so, yeah, I think that kind of goes over the traits pretty well, what I'm going to focus on. And then for synergies, we kind of talked about a few champions that would do well. I think another one that would go well with him is the Male Arbiter, because the Male Arbiter uses his active really quickly, and it reduces crowd control. And with this guy, you don't want him controlled. You want him just going off, because he's ready to use his Guardian ability, his shields are, and almost 2 of his 3 abilities give him shields. And so you don't want this guy crowd controlled. So even put him with a Male Ascavarge. Ascavarge can group up the enemy and get them all together. And then all this guy's abilities, which are focused on like having the enemy grouped up, he'll hit them all. I don't know if you can put 2 Guardians together in a team yet, but you could always put him with the Voidborn, because the Voidborn's going to suck everyone together to the center, and then this guy's just going to go nuts. You could put him with Female Arbiter. She's got the pool in. She's kind of the male hoe upgrade. You have Female Tide Raiser, can pull a couple people in potentially. So those are some possible synergies. Male Spider just for healing. Male Akuna for healing. Yeah, this guy's insane. I can't wait to get him and test him out. I just need some more of the convergence gel to get him. I guess some players saved theirs from the last event, and good on them because they were able to use them to get them now. I wish I had them, but I should get them today. Either way, hopefully you like this video. Gave a little breakdown of the new guy. If you like this video, hit it with a like. It helps me out in the algorithm. Subscribe if you like my content, if you like what I have to offer here. Maybe if it helps you make some decisions on which of the sexes you want to go with, the team or of the clan. And then also, I really highlighted Voidborn a lot, and I wanted to highlight this guy even more, so I'll do a gameplay video with him as well when I have my own footage. But yeah, thanks again for checking me out, and I'll see you in the next video. So hopefully the Vertilac clan breakdown. I'm trying to get that one out. All right, y'all. Have a good evening.